Hey guys, BJ back with another Warpforge deck guide for you, and today I'm actually going to be bringing you something to relieve you of the pain of this meta. I'm calling this one Marine Muncher. It's a Neurothrope deck which I actually lost to something similar on ladder, and I kind of went away and thought about it and came up with a deck, and yeah, kind of wanted to share with you because I think it's pretty good against the ultramarine cheese that's all everywhere right now. So yeah, let's have a look through the deck, and then we'll jump into a game against Marines to have a look at it. So obviously we're running Neurothrope here. Now the meta is a little bit slower at the minute in that. You look at the Marine decks, they're all playing obviously the bigger units, the big powerful, the Predators, the Storm Towns, the Land Raiders, all that stuff. So what we're doing in this deck is I've actually cut like things like the Gene Stealers, for example. Now you could put them back in if you really want. If you really want a Stealer in there, you could maybe even just run one of. I'll talk about the flex spots in a little bit, but we've got two. Sorry, with the Neurothrope, obviously, we are able in the first couple of turns to take out most early units anyway, because we can kind of ping for 1 damage along with Neurothropes to attack, or we can just kind of play defensive and heal up. So of course we've got the 2 Encircle the Prey and 2 Predator Instincts, goes without saying. Again, if you wanted to drop, if you're looking for flex spots, so you could drop 1 Predator Instinct, but in this particular deck I like 2 and 2. Infestation Node's one of my favourite tyranny stratagems. I really like it here actually. Being able to heal for 2, but also give copies to your hand. So this is essentially like your card draw in this deck. We've got the infinite biomorphologies because just fantastic now. Even if it only gets like 2 units, it's still worth it. The new Rogon Node Beast, obviously for Synapse creatures, we can swarm them together, or we can play them separately, especially with like Ardent Biology. Double Gargoyle, excellent addition to the NIDs. Ardent Biology, this is really like the game winner for the Tyranids at the minute. You can do stuff like play your Node Beast separate, and then play Ardent Biology, and it's just so goddamn good. This card in itself is like such a hard counter to right? Because you think about like Predators, for example, it's suddenly way less scarier if everything's got 2 armor. So Hardened Biology is something you are looking for in your opening mulligan for sure. As is the Tyranid Warrior, that is like our key 3-drop. You can run Biovores, you can run Stealers. I just like the Warriors because I think that the stats are probably like the best all round. Can't be cheated, and it also gives us yet another Synapse if we need. We've got the Ravenous Hunter, excuse me. We've got the Ravenous Hunter for the finish. We've got the Spore Assist, always goes well with the Neuro, right? Obviously, for example, on E5, being able to play Spore Assist in the heal, so with Spore Assist goes up to 6 health, and suddenly we've got Spore Mine. It's really good tempo. Even potentially you can play the Digestion Pool, do that on E3, which is turn 2, and that you could have that same effect where you play Spore Assist and heal. Tyranid Prime, just a solid 4-drop. Venom Thropes, obviously we want to be making use of Circle of Prey and Predator Instincts with that if we can. Double Carnifex, you could drop 1 if you want. Again, if you were looking for like earlier drops, like 3 drops, maybe 1 Vex is something you could drop. I think the Tyranny Guard's really important though. It is a 35 health Warlord, granted it's one that can heal, but I do think that the Tyranny Guard is particularly strong in this. Broodlord, obviously, Double Hive Crone, the Neuro Tyrant. Sometimes you have board states where you just play this with the Digestion Pool on E4. You just play this out and it just can't do anything to it. Next turn you can absolutely go off. Infestation Node, make copies of them. That in itself pretty much just wins you the game, really. And then we run a single Norm Queen as well. So really, as we said earlier about that late game, Norm Queen just comes through real late and cause havoc, especially again, good target for Predator Instincts and Encircle the Prey. So obviously we don't run any AoE in here. I find that because we are playing the deck on such tempo, that we don't really get behind enough to be able to play it. Sometimes, even though it is a good AoE for 6 energy, I feel like you just sort of falling behind on your game plan. If obviously we get lots of Juniths and Tau and stuff in the meta, then maybe you could put one back in. But I'm quite happy with this just being a board building kind of deck. The other thing you might want to look at is putting a Gene Stealer or some Biovores in there if you really wanted to sync up that early game. In which case, I'd be tempted to drop like either one Fex. You could drop the Norm Emissary. Would drop. What else could you drop from here? Potentially one Predator. Stinks. But this is the deck that I've been going with. I'm pretty happy with it. And yeah, let's jump into a game. Show you what it can do. Okay, so we're going up against Tigarius, and obviously we got the digestion pool here. I quite like this hand, right? We've got the hardened biology. Obviously we've got the hive crown for a tempo play on 4, and then we've got to follow that up. We've got things like Prime on 5 where we can play that plus heal, and of course into Broodlord. So quite like I think I keep that whole hand. Now he does drop the scout bike, which is fairly annoying because we can't ping it with our power, so we just attack and heal. But of course, there is one card that we don't want to see, and it is the Tech Marine. So the Tech Marine heals us, and now we're in a lot of trouble, right? Because we're like looking at this hand, and I'm thinking, what the heck are we going to do? So we literally just attack the range here. We ping it, and that is it. Now he goes for an interesting play here where he basically, and this is fine attacking here because this is going to heal, but he basically goes for putting a shield on to protect the Librarian, which is interesting because obviously I can ping it, but maybe he's just thinking, well, you know, for the 1 energy that means I can't develop a 4-drop. Maybe that's his plan here. But what we're going to do is actually just attack him. We're going to play the digestion pool now, and then obviously for the tempo we're going to drop the flyer. And we will take 2 damage, unfortunately, from the Scout Bite. But at least we've got rid of that dreaded Librarian Psycho. Primaris Psycho. Okay, so he hits us with Smite, because he's obviously trying to get rid desperately. Takes 2 damage. Bite goes down to 1. He does manage to kill it, but he hasn't developed the board. I'm kind of happy here, because I can kind of take this out now with my Lord. And this is that where we can just drop the Spore Assist and heal and start to take back some of the tempo. Okay, so he's going to play the Outrider, of course. How does he trigger Codex? Goes with the Smite. Yep, that'll do it. So he can now finish that off. And obviously polish off the Spore Mine with his Lord. But again, he's had to respond to us, so he's not really developed a board. We can get rid of that. Now, we have quite a few options here. We could just drop the Gene Stealer, obviously. I decide this is the turn I want to use the Infinite Biomorphologies. We're going to be getting into the big stuff coming down in a minute, and we end up getting the armor. We had a choice of health or armor or Vanguard. I actually went with the armor, trying to help us against all the blasty stuff that's coming. Now we're going to make use of the Tunid Prime's ability to give bonuses to Swarm here. Otherwise, I would actually put these next to each other normally with this type of player, but specifically because it's the Prime, getting those extra stats made it tip the balance really. But it is a good tactic to play those separate when you're going to do hardened biology like that. Basically, what I'm saying now is like, you can play Inspired Retribution, but we're really not scared of Predators. Predators do 1 damage. No biggie. Now we're going to go and drop the Broodlord between those 2 and heal. Obviously that Spirit Leech will go off twice. And here comes the Predator. It's going to hit the Tyranid Prime. But the Prime's got 3 armor on, so it's doing 1 damage. This guy now getting the armor. Obviously, he's had enough of this Gene Stealer, of this Broodlord, giving everything double. So it's quite hard selection for him there, because there's a lot of good stuff. But he can only take 1 of them out. Decides to get rid of the Broodlord, probably because he's worried about, well, just more double strats. But here we go, Norm Emissary costing us 6 energy. We can heal here. This puts this up to 6 so that the Venom can actually kill now and still survive. And then of course we just put this on the Tyranid Prime, get our Venom throw up and our big lad all behind stealth. He's got another Predator, but there's really nothing he can do at that point. So there we go. So it's kind of like, really, obviously, it does make a massive difference getting that hard in biology, and I think you want to be mulliganing pretty hard for it, I would say, to be honest with you. That and the Encircle the Prey, I think you want to be trying to keep one of those in your opening hand. Obviously, if you have got the Gargoyle or Tyranid Warrior, and you kind of feel you need that early game, then you might want to hold on to one of those 3 drops. But otherwise, I would just, I'd be really tempted to go in hard for those cards that we just talked about. So yeah, I think this deck is pretty powerful, really good board builder, and it obviously does quite well into Ultramarines. Let me know what you think. If there's any changes that you'd make in the comments, and yeah, till next time, guys. I'll see you in the next one.